The transfer rumor mill is on fire again, and this week it's delivering stories so wild that even the most skeptical fans are leaning in to listen. PSG are circling Barcelona like vultures. José Mourinho is back to where it all began. Messi has made a career-defining choice about his final chapter. Liverpool are plotting a defensive shakeup. Real Madrid risk stunting the growth of their most exciting teenager, and Dani Olmo could be heading for a blockbuster move. It feels less like the usual gossip and more like the stage is being set for one of the most chaotic transfer windows in years. Let's start with the story that no one could have predicted would happen again. José Mourinho back at Benfica. Yes, it's official. The Special One has reached a verbal agreement to return to Lisbon on a deal until 2027, and the only thing left is the announcement. Fabrizio Romano has already hit us with the famous "here we go," so you know it's real. For Mourinho, this is a circle that began in 2000 when he first took charge of Benfica. Back then, he lasted just 10 matches before politics, not results, forced him out. A new president wanted his own man, and Mourinho was sacrificed. The rest, of course, is history. Champions League glory with Porto and Inter, Premier League dominance with Chelsea, league titles in Spain and Italy, and the kind of aura that few managers in football ever achieve. And now, almost 25 years later, he's back where it all started, this time not as a rookie but as a legend. What makes the timing even more remarkable is the irony of his Fenerbahce exit just weeks earlier. Mourinho had blamed the Turkish board for failing him in the transfer market, which left his squad short and caused an embarrassing Champions League qualifying defeat. The opponent that night? Benfica. The loss dropped Fenerbahce into the Europa League, and Mourinho was quickly sacked. But fate has a funny way of writing scripts in football, because only days later, Benfica came knocking after a shocking Champions League defeat to Qarabağ. They needed a big name to calm the storm, and who better than the man their fans had been dreaming of since the rumors first leaked? Politics are once again swirling in Lisbon with presidential elections looming, but this time Mourinho is untouchable. His status guarantees him the power he never had 2 decades ago. His debut is set for September 30th against Chelsea in the Champions League, an emotional return to Stamford Bridge where he built one of the most iconic sides in English football. Many critics say his peak is long gone, but anyone who knows Mourinho knows he thrives on nights like this. Trophies might be harder to come by, but he brings something money can't buy. The aura of theater, the guarantee that every game under him feels like an event. Benfica are betting on charisma as much as tactics, and it could be the gamble that reignites their season. While Mourinho closes his circle, Lionel Messi is preparing to close his career in Miami. The Argentine has agreed to extend his contract with Inter Miami in a deal that will tie him to the club until at least 2028. His current contract expires in 2025, but the club is desperate to lock him in before the World Cup, and they've succeeded. Beckham brought him to MLS in 2023, and Messi instantly changed everything. He delivered Inter Miami's first ever trophy in the League's Cup, broke the MLS scoring record in 2024, and won MVP. He turned the club from a novelty act into a serious contender. And now, just as Miami prepares to move into its new Freedom Park Stadium, they've secured the biggest poster boy imaginable. The deal is enormous, worth upwards of $150 million with bonuses and a slice of club ownership. But it's more than just business. It guarantees Messi will be the face of MLS during the 2026 World Cup in the United States, the biggest footballing event the country has ever hosted. Fans dreamed he might return to Barcelona or Argentina, or even test himself against Ronaldo in Saudi Arabia. But no, Messi has chosen Miami as the stage for his final bow. It's a choice that cements MLS as a serious player on the global football map, and it's a reminder that the man who defined modern football will also define the sport's American future. But while Messi settles, Barcelona's troubles continue. Ronald Araujo, once the rock at the back, is now the subject of heavy transfer speculation. Liverpool are leading the race to sign him, and the timing couldn't be more critical. Ibrahima Konate is being courted by Real Madrid and could leave on a free transfer. And if that happens, Liverpool will have no choice but to find a replacement fast. Araujo is 26, entering his prime, but under Hansi Flick, he's no longer an automatic starter. He started the first 2 games of the season, but the next 2 he was benched without explanation. Reports in Spain suggest his camp is exploring a transfer, and Liverpool are pushing hard. The fee would be around $50 million, and for Liverpool that's worth every cent if it means replacing Konate and preparing for life after Van Dijk, who will turn 35 next summer. Juventus are interested too, but let's be honest. they can't compete financially with Liverpool. For Araujo, the chance to anchor a Premier League defense and escape the uncertainty of Barcelona's randomized backline is incredibly appealing. In Catalonia, he's become just another option. At Anfield, he would be the cornerstone. And then there's Endrick, the Brazilian wonder kid who hasn't even had time to breathe since arriving in Madrid. The hype was huge, the price tag was enormous, but the opportunities have been scarce. With Vinicius, Rodrigo, and Bellingham ahead of him, Endrick has barely touched the pitch. Injuries have held him back further, and now his market value has nearly halved, from $60 million to around $35 million. He's starting to look like another cautionary tale of talent wasted at the Bernabeu. The solution being discussed is a loan move, with Valencia and Celta both interested. It would be a step down, but it's exactly what he needs. Regular minutes, a chance to prove himself, and the rhythm to push for a spot in Brazil's World Cup squad. Endrick himself has said he dreams of helping his country win a 6th title, but that dream is impossible if he spends the next 2 years sitting on Madrid's bench. Real Madrid can't afford to let their prize investment wither, and Endrick can't afford to wait. A loan looks like the only way forward. Meanwhile, PSG are circling Barcelona again, this time for Dani Olmo. Luis Enrique knows the player inside out from their time together in Spain's national team, and he wants him in Paris. Barcelona, desperate for money and already shifting more trust to Fermín López, are open to selling if the offer crosses $70 million. Olmo was supposed to be a star after arriving from Leipzig in 2024. His first season was solid, 12 goals and 8 assists in 43 games, but injuries have slowed him. And this season, he's been a shadow of himself. 1 assist in 4 matches and more time on the bench than on the pitch. PSG see an opportunity. Enrique believes Olmo can be the creative midfielder they're missing, someone to bridge their attack and add flexibility. Olmo's agent has already met with Deco, Barcelona's sporting director, which tells you everything. Barca are ready to talk. PSG might try to haggle the price down in January, knowing Barcelona's finances are shaky and Olmo's stock is falling. The Premier League has sniffed around, but PSG have the cash and the manager who wants him. For Olmo, this is a chance to reset his career. For Barcelona, it's a chance to solve a financial problem. For PSG, it's a chance to strengthen at a time when they desperately need a new identity post-Mbappé. So here we are. Mourinho rewriting history at Benfica. Messi committing his future to Miami. Liverpool preparing to replace Konate with Araujo. Endrick fighting for survival with a possible loan. And PSG ready to pounce on Dani Olmo. The transfer market never really closes. It just changes tempo. And right now, it feels like the opening notes of a symphony that could explode into chaos by January.